Hi guys, it's Catherine and I'm so excited to be here with you today. It is Monday and we're in the beautiful spring season now, opening day for the Red Sox. So I wanted to come on and join you guys for Mindful Monday. And today's Mindful Monday is about one of my favorite subjects, which is love. I love love. It's my happy place. I think everybody should have it in their lives. So today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a subject that I've talked to you about before, and it's about a book that I read probably at least 15 years ago. And I actually saw last night on Facebook, a friend of mine, her daughter, she's a little girl, was reading the book. I don't think she was really reading it. I think the mom's reading it, but it reignited my passion for it. So I wanted to come online and give you the very condensed version of what this book is all about. The book is called The 5 Love Languages, and it's from Gary Chapman. And it was actually given to me from my former mother-in-law during a difficult time in my marriage. And it, I think, is brilliant. I think that it actually really helped me to understand love and how people perceive love, and because it was so helpful for me, of course, I want to share it with my friends. So I'm going to break it down real easy for you. So Gary, who is a therapist and has written these books, talks about how when we are raised from children, we are exposed to a behavior from the people that are around us, our parents, our guardians, the people that we spend our time with, of what love is, what it looks like. So really it turns into you only know what you know, or you don't know what you don't know. So the theory is that if you were expressed love in a certain way, your psyche has determined that that's the best way or the only way that love should be expressed. So, for example, he talks about how there's really 5 love languages, and I'm going to go through them with you. The 5 love languages are, the first one is words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. The third one is gift giving or receiving. The fourth one is acts of service. And then the last one is physical touch. So, for example, if I have been shown and believe that the way to express love is to do a service for you, but you were brought up in a different household and you were taught that the best way to show affection and love is to give gifts, what's going to happen if we get together? I'm going to be doing these services to express my love and gratitude for you. You're going to be bringing me gifts, but if those different languages don't mean anything to us, we're not going to understand or be able to accept the fact that our partner loves us the way that we love them, because we only know what we know. So the book goes on to talk about how it's important to learn your partner's primary and secondary love language, because of course the old saying is not do unto others as you want done to you, do unto others as they want done to them, right? So if I learn what my partner's love language is, I can express my affection, love, and gratitude towards them in the language in which they will best receive it. So I want to review those love languages again and explain what exactly does that mean. So the first love language is words of affirmation. Well, words can be the spoken word, of course. You express to your loved one how proud of them you are, how wonderful they are when they do blah, blah, blah. But words of affirmation can also come in the written word. You can leave them a little note, you can send them a card, you can do something kind of outside of the norm to give them that expression of this affirmation of your devotion, your love, your respect for them. And that's going to touch them in a way that, tells them that you love them. What you want to do is always give words of encouragement and make sure that, if you're trying to express love to somebody, you want to make them feel good. So give them compliments and words of encouragement for the things that they do. What you don't want to do, of course, is be emotionally harsh with your words and give undue criticism. I'm not saying you can never tell somebody that, maybe they'd be better doing something this way than that way if they're doing something wrong, but undue criticism is hurtful to your relationship if their primary love language is words of affirmation. If it's not words of affirmation, those people are going to be a little bit tougher and can take a little bit more criticism. So that's the first thing. The second thing is quality time. Well, what does quality time mean? Generally, that means time with each other, but that can be broken down a little bit. So when you think about quality time, I mean, the first thing that comes into my mind, of course, is sitting face-to-face, one-on-one time, really communicating with my partner. You can take a walk, you can take trips together, you can run errands together, whatever it is that gets you to have the alone time. That's the key word. The alone quality time together is what's going to feed that person that has quality time as their primary language to understand the love and the affection that you're giving to them. Some of the best things to do are go to quiet places just together, give them your undivided attention, and have those, really quiet one-on-one times. What you want to be careful of is spending too much time in a group atmosphere. If somebody's primary love language is quality time and you're always doing things with your friends or in a big group, what's going to happen is that they're going to feel a little bit neglected and they're not going to get enough of the you time that they need. Don't mistake that for neediness. Understand that that's how they learned love was expressed, spending that alone quality time together. So again, this is why learning your partner's primary love language is so important, so that you don't misperceive what's going on in that person's head, so you can understand your partner better. One other than the group thing that you want to watch out for is you want to be careful to not keep your partner isolated too much, meaning you're working all the time or you're going out with your friends and leaving your partner at home. That isolation is just as damaging. So you want to make sure that you're spending your time together. If you have a long distance relationship, people that require quality time, that can be damaging. So you want to make sure that your gaps between your meetings aren't too long. Do, video conferencing, see each other, because that's going to help feed their need for the quality time if you can't physically be together. Okay, moving on. The third thing, gift giving. Well, gift giving is kind of an obvious thing. And what that means is that you can do small tokens, you can give them a gift for a special occasion, or just because you love them. One of the things that you want to be very careful about as a language with gift giving is that you want to make sure that you always remember special occasions, holidays, Hallmark holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, that kind of thing. Those things are very important to people that have gift giving as a primary language. It's almost like an assault to them if you miss some kind of, some kind of an anniversary or any kind of special occasion. The other thing that you want to be careful of if your partner's primary love language is is receiving gifts, is being too materialistic yourself. If you're too, this is mine and nobody's going to get it, and you're not willing to share your things with people, that can be perceived as you're not really loving me because you're not sharing, you're not giving to me. Okay, two more love languages. The first one out of the last two is acts of service. You're looking at her. I'm an acts of service number one, numero uno. That's what I do. That's what I love. So what does that mean? Well, acts of service can be anything that's helpful to your partner. I do everything that I can for the people that I love. And these people, what you want to do is help them. That could be by just being helpful by helping them with chores or exchanging chores, or what you can do is you can say, what can I do for you? Or I'm going to stop and pick this up on the way home for you. Or today I did this for you. So helping them to recognize that you are helpful, you are supportive as a partner. People that do these acts of service, if you meet anybody that always cooks you a meal or always has their house clean for you or thinks about you when you're not together and they're out, maybe they pick something up for you, it's not really gift giving, it's because they're thinking about you and they want to do a service for you. Those are the people that you absolutely want to make sure that you're being helpful towards them, because all they want to do is do things for you. Take it from me. Okay, so what you don't want to do if your partner is an acts of service person is you don't want to overextend yourself so that you forget to do things. You don't want to make promises that you don't keep, because when you tell an acts of service person that you're going to do something for them, they depend on that. That's them thinking, oh my gosh, my partner is freaking crazy about me because they're going to do this for me. But then if you don't do it, it's twice as hurtful because it's almost a direct assault. So that's one thing. The other thing you don't want to do is just ignore things that have to go around. For example, there's a pile of clothes sitting on the stairs and you walk past them to go up to the room. Pick up the clothes, bring them upstairs, and put them down in the proper bedroom. Just those little things. Okay, the very last thing is, that's right, Laura. The very last love language is physical touch. Now, physical touch is kind of an obvious thing. It's physically touching people, but this can be hugging, this can be sitting close to somebody, even just feeling the warmth of somebody next to you. That feeds a person with the physical touch need. Just small touches. When you walk by, graze them on the head, touch their shoulder, hold their hand. Those public displays of affection are hugely, hugely important. So the other thing about physical touch is that if you think about it, it's a non-verbal communication. So have you ever been, say, out at a gathering or even a restaurant or someplace where there's a bunch of people and you look across the room and you see your partner and you can almost communicate without having to say a word? It's a facial expression. It's an understanding of each other. That goes along with the physical touch need. So being able to communicate in a non-verbal way. What you don't ever want to do if the love language, I mean, you never want to do this anyhow, but especially if the love language is physical touch, no abuse. I mean, physical abuse in any way is unacceptable. But if you touch somebody in a negative way, it's 10 times worse for somebody that feeds off of a positive physical touch. And the other thing is neglect. If you just neglect them, it's almost worse than not being touched or loved. And there's been so many studies about how, negative attention is even better than no attention at all. So keep that in mind. So my friends, today's quick video was about my favorite subject, love. So I wanted to talk to you about how you can maybe connect a little bit better with your partner by understanding their love language and speaking to them in the language they know, that they learned. So I do recommend getting this book. I think that if you are a couple that is comfortable reading things together and talking about it, it could be inspiring for your relationship and really build it up. So the 5 love languages from Gary Chapman, and that's all I got. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining me if you joined me live. And if you thought this video could be helpful to anybody in your life, please share it, and I will talk to you later in the week. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.